My name is Tor Oddmund. I play guitar in Leprous and also backing vocals.
How would you describe the genre of music you play?
Well, we're often labeled in the genre of prog something. I mean the prog genre.
Yeah.
That's a very broad genre, I think. So, I mean typical prog metal bands. I don't think we'll sound that much like them, like Dream Theater and
No, not
bands
at all.
like that. So, but maybe more. I mean, we've often been compared with like Opeth and Porcupine Tree, maybe. I know that we listened a lot to that when we started to play, and of course that probably inspired us on which direction we were moving when we started the band. But we don't think that much about direct inspirations now when we write music.
As a guitarist, how do you prepare yourself just before going on stage?
When we're on tour, when we arrive, I also have a role in the band with a lot of administration things. So I mean today I've been sitting doing some mails and paying some invoices that I needed and making some orders of T-shirts that we will have.
Is it you the Facebook post about if you want to review the gig, or that's how I got the contact?
Oh yeah, actually the Facebook things is either the vocalist or the drummer actually that does the Facebook thing. But we share a bit in between. But yeah, so that's one of the things. If we have a Wi-Fi, for example, like here, then I will sit down and do things like that. Sometimes it's hard to. Or especially before, it was hard to just calm down and think about other things than the concert. But after playing a lot of these tours, then I've become confident on, okay, now we're here, I know that this will take this long, so I can sit down for an hour and do this. And then also got like the routine on what you were doing when, okay, now it's the sound check, okay, then I'll go up and do whatever I'm doing, like rig up my guitars and things like that. And then around this time, I just had a call with my girlfriend. No, actually my wife. And then this interview, and then we'll have something to eat. Try not to think that much about the show, because then it will just be. Actually, it's not that I'm nervous, but I get very restless when I'm thinking about the show. Just thinking, okay, we're starting now. And if I'm thinking about that the entire day, then I will just. It won't do me any good, and it won't. I won't prepare any better. So I'm becoming better at just distancing myself a bit from the show. And then I guess when now we have two support bands. So when they start to play, then I'm more focused on, okay, now it's actually begun. But still we're like sitting here and doing whatever and maybe watching, okay, how many people are there. Not thinking too much about the show then either. And then when the support band right before us starts to play, then I'm starting to consider, okay, now I should put on my clothes and maybe do some vocal exercises depending on the how the voice is. But actually my experience is, I'm not sure if it's something with my voice, but if there's a long day with me talking a lot, then my voice gets very, it can be like coarse, or what you call it. And also if I for example do too much vocal exercises, then it just gets tired. So sometimes when I start doing vocal exercises, it can sound better than afterwards almost. So I'm actually not that. Sometimes I really need it to warm up the voice. But if it's like a day, an average day, then I do it for like 5 minutes or something just to check that it's okay. But then I don't keep on doing it for over and over and over again. But then again, I only have the backing vocals, so I don't need to. I'm not like carrying the entire songs, so it's not that big a deal if my voice isn't 100%. But of course, it's a nice confidence thing for me to know that it works. And when it comes to guitars, actually, I've always been a bit stressed because all other guitarists around me are sitting with their guitars and warming up and everything. But I actually like not to warm up at all. I'm just used to not warming up. I've never felt any big difference, and I think it's just a bit stressful for me to have to find my guitar and sit down somewhere and everyone is walking around and I'm just having to focus on doing this.
Very interesting.
And since I actually don't see that big of a gain after doing that. On this tour now, we find this is the first time actually that we have a crew that will do the changeover for us. So now for the first time I can just prepare, and then when we're starting I get my guitar and then we can go on stage.
Okay, yeah.
But before and also sometimes now when we have played on some festival shows, I have to also go on stage and rig all my things in the changeover, and that's also a stressful thing. But this time I think I've become better at just not think too much about the show, and then I mean maybe the last 5 minutes before the show we start to talk a bit more. Okay, now we're ready, and I mean get a bit excited, and then. Do
you gather with the band do you do like a hey?
We don't necessarily have
ritual.
Like a ritual, but sometimes I mean the thing is we try to do things. We've thought about a lot of the things we do. But we don't have to do the same things every day. For example, also on stage, we don't plan that we have to do this on stage. But sometimes we do the same things, and sometimes we just do things by the moment. And I think the energy you get from that, it's better. So also before going on stage, if we have like this new kind of thing, then someone says, okay, let's go, or I mean something like that, then it gives me a kind of a different energy than if we just do it because of the routine. For example, if Simon that just entered, I mean on stage suddenly he says like, okay, come on, or something, and then you can like the energy level just suddenly rises. But if that was the routine that he were to say it every single time, I would just think it's that's a bit awkward. But, I mean, it gives you, because then it's, you know that the other people also are really into it and looking forward to go on stage. And
okay, has this preparation evolved over time?
It has been.
You mentioned a little bit,
because I've always been of the understanding that you should warm up, and that's how I've ended up finding out that I don't see the big difference if I do or not. The more things I feel that I have to do before going on stage is just weighing me down and making me more stressed before the show. So I think it's nice to just to see that it doesn't matter, and I think sometimes it can go very, very well and I have not warmed up, and sometimes it can go horrible and I have warmed up, and the other way around. And that's what I've just realized that. But I mean, I should mention that I'm not like a solo guitarist.
No, so it doesn't matter.
No, but I mean, I would have guessed that if you're shredding.
No, I think what you play is complex enough.
And also before I had this routine of, or actually I can be a bit carried away by the other people around me, and some people like to do some push-ups or just do some sit-ups and do some exercises. And also that I try that also. It doesn't give me anything. It's just I'll just wait until I go on stage and
just chill, and that's it.
Yeah, then just switch completely of the the mood, and then you get into like the character, if you can say.
No, this is you become a character.
It's like going on stage on a theater or something. I mean, not that it's not a complete act what you do, and I think we're very different when we talk to each other and meet people than when we are on stage, and that's a bit deliberate. We don't want. I mean,
during the gig itself, do you take anything to keep you going? Water, beer?
We have this rule that we don't drink any alcohol before playing. So that's only after show if we drink any alcohol.
Okay.
And that's just to be focused. And the thing is that with the music, as you said, since it's like more technical, it's more complex. Not necessarily with like mechanical complex, but it's a lot of thinking.
It's not about speed.
So that's why what I'm thinking. If I can keep my stress levels down, then that's my best warm up. I mean, the brain. So the brain is like focused on doing the show. I think that's the best warm up for me, because I think it's more like a brain thing than a technical thing. But
so during the gig, water.
Water. Actually, that's also a very strange thing with me. I don't. I don't. Sometimes I can go an entire show without drinking anything, but I should drink. But I'm just very bad at drinking water. But I try to drink a lot of water before going on stage.
Okay.
A routine, actually. I have to go to the toilet within the 10 minutes before going on stage. At least,
I understand that.